Grad schools could help. Let's take a little break right here. Any questions so far? Or comments? Or thoughts? Or feelings? Okay. I want to talk about something that I think grad schools could do that would be incredibly remarkable. And this is probably not, this idea probably does not originate with me, but it seems like a natural to me. If you think about it, you've kind of got this thing set up where you've got PhD faculty, and they're teaching IO students. If you look at it, the PhD faculty are running the department, right? IO students are doing the work of learning. But if we just expand our minds a little bit, and we sort of look at this thing as a network, along with the IO grad students, you've got undergrads that are accessible here at UTC. Maybe you're teaching them in a graduate assistantship or teaching assistantship kind of environment or something like that, but they're here. You've also got other graduate students, MBA students. Maybe you're bumping into them in an elective class or something like that. And then you've got alumni as well. And this can expand. You've also got the business community. So really, if you put this on paper, or back of a napkin, it starts to look like an org chart, doesn't it? You look like you've got an organization here and a network. What if you could take this and reinvent it as a consulting firm? What if you were a consulting firm here at UTC, for example, or MTSU or Kentucky or wherever you happen to be? The main consultants, the senior consultants, if you look at it in a firm type of organizational structure, would be the faculty. The faculty would be the senior consultants. They would be leading the consulting projects. You would be associates in the firm, associate consultants. And you could start projects. You could start projects right now. You could go to the business community and say, we just took a class on compensation, or we just took a class on employee selection, or we just took a class on training. We want to put that to work. Let us do a training project for your company. Starting out, and let me back up. Starting out, it may have to be free. You may have to give away the project. But in time, if you can get enough people applying saying, hey, wait, there's some sharp stuff coming out and they're doing it for free. If you get enough demand, people might have to apply for projects. So you may have TVA, Volkswagen, Walden Security, McKee Bacon. You may have these companies saying, rather than us paying thousands and thousands and thousands of dollars, we could pay a little bit and get some real work done. I mean, I could see it being a very cool thing. So the vision, I'm going to take it as far as I can here. I see have a building built. LEED certified, new building somewhere in downtown, some cool place to hang out. And you could name it the Mr. and Mrs. Rich A. Donor Center for Organizational Advancement. You know, get somebody like a Lupton or somebody to underwrite this thing and have it built. Why go to that trouble? I think for a lot of reasons. You want this thing to really bridge the university with the community, with the business community. You really want this thing out in business, I believe. And so I see a place with this kind of conference room, very professional layout, but very hip too, because you got kind of a young vibe. You're going from college into the work world. So I see kind of a young conference room, break room, something like this. Wouldn't that be nice? Every student gets his or her own office. I think that's very important because part of it is also transitioning you into the work world. We're kind of getting out of the dorm room and starting to get into real life, and I think this would be very powerful. It would also elevate the professional demeanor of what you're trying to do. And it's kind of a branding thing. You want them to think that they're getting something of value. So like I said, you may have to give this work out for free. There's a book called Free, The Past and Future of a Radical Price. It's written by Chris Anderson. He's the editor of Wired Magazine. Super good book. I've gotten a lot of, he actually goes through 50 different business models that are built on free. So I encourage you to grab that, grab the audio version of this. I remember when I was in grad school, people would say, read this book, read that book. And I said, are you kidding me? I can't read. I got enough to read from my own coursework. I cannot read anything else. Write this down and read it when you get out of school, I guess. Or maybe get the audio book and listen to it in the car. Whatever you got to do. But it'll get you thinking. But I think there's some powerful ways to use free as a tool to get business. So you could get some consulting projects, give them out for free at first, and then later charge for them. I'm starting to wonder if the practicum program, now we do that at UTC where you have to have a practicum in order to graduate. What about at MTSU? Do you have to do that as well? And in Kentucky, do you do anything you do? Okay. I'm beginning to wonder if it's not broken. To me, it seems so, it's such a tough sell. Because here's the thing. You've got IO students that are in the program, and they say, I feel valuable. I would like to make at least X dollars per hour. I cannot afford to take an unpaid internship. The business community is looking at it saying, we are cutting margins so tight. It's not like we have a pile of money over there saying, what are we going to do with that money? Oh, well, I guess we can find an intern and give it to them. There is no pile of money. There is no internship budget. At least not in, there probably are in some companies, but in a lot of them, there's just not money there. But you need the experience, right? So if you got to do a free thing, do it on your terms. Don't do like I did on one of my internships, and you're doing some rinky-dink thing, and you're trying to write it up as if it's the best thing that's ever happened to IO, and you're getting all creative and like some kind of creative writing exercise or something. Don't do that. Get something that really is in the sweet spot of what you're trying to do in your career. Something that really is IO related, because that's going to be more valuable than $8 an hour anyway. Get something where you're meeting people that will matter. Don't just be cloistered away in a cubicle in the back of an HR department. God bless, don't do that. Do something where you're out, meeting people, networking, building your brand, getting stuff out there.